Thank you very much, but my brother's just over there getting me one. I point to my brother standing at the bar getting 3 giant mugs of beer. Oh, you're Bruce's little sister. Yeah. My brother walks back to the table and plops down 1 giant beer in front of me and 2 in front of himself. Get out of here. And with that, the cute soldier disappears into the sea of American tourists at the Hofbrauhaus. You don't want to talk to him. He's an asshole. Oh, okay. I am 20 years old. I'm sitting in a bar in Munich, Germany. Although you might not have known it because everyone here is speaking English, even the Turkish guys behind the bar. In fact, it could be an Applebee's in Wisconsin for all I know. But to a girl who's never been outside of the United States before, this looks like a bar in Germany. I don't think it'll be too shocking if I tell you that I am a corn-fed, all-American girl from the Midwest. I went to a state school, I worked at the mall, I went to church on Sundays. Nothing about me said world traveler at 20. Hey, you know what we should do this weekend? We should go to Paris and eat a lot of cheese and drink a lot of wine. Okay. I did whatever my big brother told me to do. In fact, I did what anyone ever told me to do. I lived in dire fear of one day disappointing someone. 48 hours later, we are smack dab in the center of Paris, France. Well, at least I am. My brother is up at the hotel, sleeping off all that wine and cheese. But I can't sleep. Paris is just so. Our hotel is right on the river. So I leave the hotel and cross the street to the river alone. It's midnight, and there's still a lot of people on the banks of the Seine. Lovers meeting, lovers breaking up, kids getting high, old men and old women just sitting on our banks, watching the river roll on by. I look up to the city and I realize that for the first time in my life, no one knows where I am. She came out of nowhere. She just appeared. Who are you? I look around to see where that voice is coming from. And there she stood, wearing a pair of high-waisted men's trousers and a white crisp shirt, giant yellow earrings, and of course a black beret. She looked like the epitome of 1980s androgyny. I froze. I couldn't take my eyes off of her, and she had locked her gaze on me. Pardon me? Who are you? Oh, hey, I know this one. Je m'appelle Laura Jane. I have no doubt. But who are you? Wow, she just cuts right to it, doesn't she? Just right to the deep stuff. No time for chit chat. I was starting to have that feeling, sort of uh, uh, instantly falling in love and stranger danger. It was making me feel like all the air had left my lungs. I started to hyperventilate. I might have started to even sweat. I don't know. I don't know what that means. And then she took out an unlit cigarette out of her pack and hands it to me. Oh, no, I don't smoke. Or rather, I rarely smoke. I don't want to smell like smoke when I see my brother later. Oh, so you are a good girl, no? Is she flirting with me? I don't know. Maybe what makes a good girl? Laughing at me, she adjusts her beret with her cigarette smoking hand, and she just stands there, posing for me, staring at me, eyes smoldering. Yeah, she was definitely flirting with me. Do you know what I think? I think a good girl does what everybody wants her to do, and a bad girl does whatever she wants. Oh, she was making me so nervous. She is flirting, but also maybe threatening, definitely teasing. Whatever it was riveting. I should turn and break her gaze. I should turn and run. I should have never left the hotel with my brother, because in this moment, she is either going to kiss me or stab me. She doesn't do either of those things. Instead, she takes that fresh cigarette, puts it in her mouth, lights it, turns it around, and puts it in my mouth. Now, this is the part of the story where I should tell you that smoking is bad for you. You should not smoke. But this was the 1980s and in college, and literally everybody smoked. Don't believe anyone who tells you otherwise. I have so many memories of all of us grabbing quick puffs of Virginia Slim menthol lights and slamming down Long Island iced teas. But this French cigarette, oh, it was something different altogether. It was smooth and sweet and utterly delicious. How was that, good girl? It's very nice, thank you. She stood there staring at me. I stared right back. So, who are you? Always Midwest nice. You don't know who I am. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I don't. Well, good girl, I am Paris. Wow. We are in the city of Paris, and your name is Paris. No, 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 no. I am the city. And at that moment, she violently grabbed my arm and yanked me up the side of the river and across the street. And suddenly we are in her apartment. Her very Parisian apartment with vanity tables and crown molding and blue velvet curtains and lots of clothes. Take that off, she said, pointing at my denim jacket and shapeless flower print dress. You are in Paris now. You must look like it. And she tossed me this off the shoulder red cocktail dress. I put it on and I felt like Cindy fucking Crawford or Linda Evangelista or post-divorce Princess Diana, whatever. I felt great. Then she sat me down and brushed out my spiral permed hair. Who told you you could curl your hair so tight? Making me feel stupid for buying into the 1980s hair culture. But she was able to smooth it down, put a couple of pins in it, painted my lips a perfect Chanel red, and poof, suddenly I was sophisticated and sleek and very, very Parisian. She sat back to admire her work. Now you are beautiful. She opened a bottle of champagne and poured us each a glass. As my friend Coco said, I only drink champagne on two occasions, when I am in love and when I am not. And she tossed back the glass of champagne and poured herself another. I sat there sipping my glass of champagne as she went into the closet to change her clothes. And when she emerged, she looked like Catherine Deneuve and Grace Jones and Marie Antoinette. She was like the perfect woman, all rolled into one. She opened another bottle of champagne. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I can't. I have to meet my brother at 5 a.m. for a train to Berlin. Suddenly her eyes just flashed at me. Anger, frustration, judgment. So you are a good girl, no? way she said it, the shrug of the shoulders, the superiority. I couldn't let her get away with that. Besides, I really did want to stay. She was everything I wanted to be. God, my head was spinning. The angel and the devil on my shoulder had long abandoned ship, not wanting to do business with her. Maybe I'm not as good of a girl as you think I am, I said, grabbing the bottle. And she smiled at me. I looked her square in the eyes, taking her all in, her lights, her glowing pulse, all for me. And it was at that exact moment, that exact skip of the heart, where I realized I was in love. She leaned into me, an inch from my face, breathed in her cigarette smoke, the Chanel No. 5, the champagne on her breath. Laura Jane, what are your passions? Oh, my passions. I don't know. Do I have any passions? Oh, you must have passions. You are not alive if you don't. Oh, I'm not sure. What are your passions? The old switcheroo. Oh, I am passionate about so many things: music and art, food and fashion, architecture, walking, talking late into the night and not talking at all. But most of all, I am passionate about beauty, all kinds of beauty, human, nature, creation, you. It was a very well-rehearsed speech. I was not the first girl she had used this line on, but I didn't care. I like reading and music, hoping she was listening, but I'm afraid she probably wasn't. And comedy. Comedy. Oh, yeah. I like all kinds: movie, sketch, television, stand up. I was kind of spitballing at this point because what am I passionate about? And then she did the strangest thing. She sort of started to mime something. She started to move her arms in this herky jerky kind of way. And then she started to whistle. It went on for way too long. I started to get kind of embarrassed for her. And then, le belle boy. Le belle boy. Le belle boy. The bell. Oh my God. The bellboy. She was doing the telephone answering scene from The Bellboy with Jerry Lewis. Oh my God, it's true. They really do love Jerry Lewis. Oui, he is the grimacing mirror to our travesties. He is a revolutionary, a genius with no sentimentality. I hate sentimentality. What do you think of sentimentality? Do I hate it? Do I love it? God, she made me feel like I had to have an opinion about everything. She was exhausting and exhilarating. She made me feel things and think about things that I never had before, even Jerry Lewis. I hate sentimentality too. And she smiled at me approvingly. Maybe I need to choose more things to be passionate about. And then she looked me straight in the eye with no sentimentality. And she said, Laura Jane, you do not choose your passions. Your passions choose you. I looked at the clock. It was 5 a.m. The sun was just starting to come up. The city was still stunning, but glowing in a more natural way. I have to go. I have to go meet my brother. We're going to. Suddenly, she grabs my hair and pulls it to her face. Oh my God, is she going to bite me? Oh, please, please, bite me. She's terrifying, spitting her words at me. Oui, Oui, I know. Berlin, she is exciting, but she is not so beautiful. She throws me on the floor. Get up, girl. Get up, good girl. Get up, funny girl. I know you want to be here. I get up and I start running for the door. If you leave now, I will torture you. I will haunt you. I will punish you. And I always win. That stopped me cold. Maybe this is where I belong. Maybe this is where I become the woman I want to be. I make the train. Where the fuck were you? God, my brother was furious, but I didn't care. I sat in our train car and I dreamed of Paris. She had my heart, and I'd like to think that maybe I had hers. Oh my God, the haunting had begun. Fast forward 25 years. Let's see. Since leaving Paris, college, career, marriage, divorce, moved to California, and now marrying Bob. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. The best thing about getting married in middle age is nobody throws up at your reception. Later that night, we were snuggled in each other's arms, replaying the whole day for each other, locking it into our memory banks. Oh, I wish you could have known me when I was younger. I wish we would have met when we were younger. We'd still be at the reception. Wish you'd known me when I was young and pretty. You are pretty. You looked beautiful. Bob's mama raised him right. He is an excellent compliment giver, not in a creepy salesman-y kind of way. When we were dating, as soon as he saw me, his face would light up and he would blush. And most of the time, a really sweet compliment would just come falling out like, oh, your hair is so soft, or I love it when you wear skirts. I mean, what girl doesn't want to be complimented by her future husband? I think the thing that made it so wonderful is that Bob is a terribly shy guy and he doesn't have a bullshit bone in his body. So when he says something, that is his truth. At our reception just a few hours earlier, he gave a toast to his bride, me. That was so genuine and so loving that we both just ended up weeping. I mean, this is a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve, and I love it. He's also very thoughtful, opening doors and please and thank yous and nice to meet yous to all my friends. Tell them I say hello every time I talk to one of my family members. Everything my mother told me to look for in a husband when I was younger, and I firmly rejected. Until now. You were right, mother. He's also always prepared, like Boy Scout prepared. The moment I knew I was madly in love with him was the time we went down to Yosemite. And this was before the drought and the waterfalls were really gushing that year. And we were getting soaked. And I didn't care because, you know, I'm an artist, go with the flow, live in the moment kind of thing. But Bob didn't want me catching a cold. So he ran back to his pickup truck. Of course, he has a pickup truck to get his extra set of rain gear. And these are full on rain gear, like yellow plastic pants and the black suspenders, coat with a hood. And he gets bonus points for being tall, athletic, and sexy. If Steve Kerr and Mr. Rogers and a Swiss Army knife had a baby, it would be Bob. So there we were, in each other's arms on our wedding night. I'm happy you decided to wear a traditional wedding gown. Well, I'm happy I decided not to wear white. It wasn't white? No, it was ecru. I love your attention to detail. And I love your attention to my family. God, you were so good with them today. You are like the perfect combination of California ease and Midwest cornfield. Cornfield? Yeah, you know, sturdy and strong, grounded. Nice. Thank you. And he kissed me. Your mother looked like she was having the time of her life. I love my mother, but can we not talk about her right now? It is our wedding night. And he leaned in and turned off the light. And, well, you know how a wedding night goes. I woke up a few hours later in a cold sweat. Somewhere between wedding night bliss and dawn, I had a dream where Paris was my maid of honor. And when the minister said, "If anyone objects, speak now or forever hold their peace," we all looked around the congregation and everyone was smiling at us. And then we looked over at Paris and there was no smile, actually, no discernible response at all. And then she opened her mouth and said, "I do." And giant black rats climbed out of her mouth and attacked our guests. "Help! Help! Honey, what's wrong? Laura Jane, are you okay?" Oh, God, I was so relieved when I woke up and realized this was a nightmare. "Honey, I have a confession to make." "Now?" "Yeah, now. I need to. Oh, God, why is this so hard?" "Just spit it out." "Okay. Promise you won't get mad?" "Well, that depends what kind of confession my wife is going to give me on our wedding night." "Fair. Okay. I love you. I love you too. And I love Paris." "Hilton?" "Oh, God, no. Paris, the city. I love Paris, the city." "Oh, okay, Paris." Then he leans back on the pillow and he closes his eyes. I wait. Oh my God. Only one day into this marriage and I have already ruined it. He's probably lying there thinking I've deceived him, figuring out how he can get out of this marriage. And then he starts to snore. "Bob, wake up. Are you sleeping?" "Oh, no, I'm awake. I'm awake." "Bob, I was just telling you that I love Paris and I always will." "Yeah, I am really fond of Hamburg, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Come here." "No, this is serious. She seduced me when I was in college, and I told her I couldn't live there, so I left, and she said she would torture me. Why do you think we never go to French restaurants? And why do you think I never can watch the Tour de France with you? Although, let's be honest, it's just hours and hours of people riding a bicycle. Hours. Why do you think I walked out of Midnight in Paris? Not for some Woody Allen protest, but because she was there with her arms around him. But the whole time she was whispering into my ear, 'You are my one true love. You are special.' And I love her." "Oh, well, let's go." "What? He wants to meet the ex?" "Well, that never works out the way you think it's going to. For one thing, she's not nice. Bob Young is nice, and she doesn't like to share. She does like history and art, and he likes all those kind of things. She's going to want to make a good first impression. No, gosh, no, she will eat him alive. But if he understands my obsession, maybe he could join in with it. And she is very, very beautiful." "Yeah, this is a brilliant idea. The two loves of my life meeting, the three of us together, him loving me loving her, her loving him. Well, it's some sort of strange menage a trois. I think I can handle that. I'm mature. I'm a carrying adult. And very, very au courant and sexy. We may be middle aged, but, well, we're middle aged and sexy. When I fantasize about Paris, it takes me out of the burden of middle age, the heaviness of menopause. I imagine I am that beautiful young girl ready to start her life, sophisticated and worldly. It's a far way away from my suburban housewife life. It took us 7 years, but finally, we are standing in line at the St. Pancras station in London, waiting our train for Paris. And my incredibly kind and loving husband of almost 7 years is in a foul mood, a real rarity. His legs have been achy all week in London, and now his back hurts. Walking around is the only thing that seems to ease the pain. So we're walking around in circles until our train to Paris is called. Oh, God, sitting for 2 hours and 20 minutes is going to be excruciating, Laura Jane. I don't say anything. We are now on our way to Paris, and he needs to be in top form. He is meeting the other love of my life. He's going to need strength and endurance, as well as sparkling conversation and a healthy appetite. I mean, those croissants are not going to eat themselves. Bob is unable to get comfortable. For the entire train ride, he is wiggly and sweaty, and I mean really sweaty. Europe is having a heat wave, but the train is air conditioned. So we bicker. I guess now I'll be carrying all the luggage. And of course, I overpacked. I mean, what was I supposed to wear? It's been 30 years. I got to look cute. Our hotel is perfectly Parisian. Our first meal in Paris is delicious. We buy a box of macarons and take them up to the hotel and make up. Good morning, honey. How'd you sleep? I kiss him. Today, he is going to meet Paris and everything is going to be better. She knows we're coming, so she is surely going to be at one of the big tourist spots. And we hit them all. And a couple of times, I think I caught a glimpse of her. That night, we return to the hotel and Bob climbs into bed. Do I have a fever? Maybe. Hey, I got a great idea. How about tomorrow we get massages? In the basement of an old building, we climb down into the catacombs of Paris for our massages. Oh, she will surely be here. Later at the cafe, I ask, how was that? Expecting him to say, oh, I feel so much better. But he doesn't. I am running out of patience with both of them, Bob and Paris. After a long day of shopping, we're at the post office sending packages home. At this moment, I am properly pissed. She hasn't shown up, so he hasn't met her, and this entire idea of a meeting is a bust. Madame, we will have to have him sign for the card. Bob is sitting on the other side of the post office. Hey, they need you to sign for the credit card. Oh, you do it. I can't. It's your card. So I watch Bob walk across the post office and sign for his credit card. Or at least try to sign. It just comes out scribbles. You can barely hold the pen. Honey, what's wrong with you? I don't know. I feel weird. I need a doctor. First, there's a visit from the hotel doctor, then a second visit. Then Bob gets so weak that he falls and breaks his ankle, so off to the emergency room we go. His body aches, he's weak, he can't move his toes, his hands hurt, he has a fever, he can't produce urine, and he can't stand on his own. Qui est le mystère? Apparently, he's a very exciting puzzle for these French doctors. Tests for infections, X-rays, MRIs, CAT scans, 3 spinal taps. Day 4 in the hospital. Bob is conscious, but starts to become very confused. Hand tremors start, and he continues to weaken until finally I'm feeding him. His fever spikes to 40. Dr. Montecito in the ICU tells us that Bob has Guillain-Barré syndrome. Your body will become paralyzed from the bottom to the top, and then it will plateau, maybe. And then, as it recovers, the paralysis will recede, most of the time. Every word he is saying to us feels like he's giving birth to the English language. But he wants to make sure we understand exactly what he is saying. But what he is saying is crazy. Well, how did he get this? How do we stop it? How long will this take? Should we fly back to the United States and get treatment there? Why is his fever so high? Should I have brought him in earlier? My questions are answered with silence from the doctor and then a shrug of the shoulders. My own research of Guillain-Barré only gives me enough information to ask more questions, and the French doctors rarely answer my questions. In fact, they rarely speak to me, just that shrug. Day 10. We must intubate him. His respiratory system is failing. You will need to sign this form. I stand there dumbfounded. It is now or never. I sign the form, and then I go in. Bob gives me a kiss, and in goes the tube. Day 15. Dr. Montecito! I'm running down the hall to catch him. Wikipedia doesn't say anything about Guillain-Barré patients experiencing such a high fever. Why can't you get the fever down? Why is he hallucinating? Does he understand what's going on? I have to explain to him every day that we're in Paris and not in a hospital in San Carlos, California. The websites don't say anything about his brain being affected by Guillain-Barré. Madame, that is due to the encephalitis. Encephalitis? Oui, the infection around his brain that has caused the underlying infection that triggered the GBS. What is that infection? Well, we are working to determine what that is. It's not an easy process. We have ruled out many things. We've sent his blood to another lab to investigate. It all takes time to grow cultures, Madame Young. He turns to leave. I stand there dumbfounded. Encephalitis. That's bad. He turns around. Madame Young, in San Carlos, California, do you have any mosquitoes with West Nile? I don't know. Day 22. I'm summoned to the office of the head of medicine and the infectious disease specialist. His name is Dr. Quint, Quint. I make a very strong effort every time I see him to say his name properly, and whenever I do, I get a faint smile. Bonjour, Dr. Quint. Bonjour. Sit down, Madame Young. Would you like something to drink? No smile. No, thank you. I wait for him to speak. Madame Young, your husband does have West Nile fever. That is the inciting infection. That is what has caused the meningoencephalitis. All of these things are very rare. Your husband is a very sick man. Time stops. All the air leaves the room. How do you treat it? There is no treatment. We wait, we support him, and we see what happens. Is he going to die? We do not know. This was the first time since I have been in Paris that I have heard someone say, we do not know. And when Dr. Kant says it, it sounds like code. I search his face for truth, and it softens, and then I know Bob will most likely not recover from this. The doctor and I look at each other for a very long time, and then he finally says, do you know anyone in Paris who can come and be with you? No, I'm all alone. And then I burst into tears. And Dr. Kant lets me, surprisingly. I cry for a very long time. It's clearly he has had hospital training not to leave a dying patient's spouse alone crying in a room. And then finally he says, Madame Young, you must have courage. Many French doctors have told me to have courage. Maybe all of them. Bon courage, Madame Young, every day since I have been here. Dr. Kent, I don't think that word means the same thing in English as it does in French. In English, it means to buck up, to be brave. What do you mean when you say it? It means you must have hope. And then I cry some more because I know there is no hope. Day 49. I wake up at 7 a.m. and call the ICU to check on his night and his fever. Oh, he slept very well, madame. They say that every day. And his fever is 38.7. It was 37 yesterday. What happened? We will see you at 2 p.m. Visitors are not allowed to see patients in the ICU until after 2 p.m. They are very strict about this. So I lay in bed for the next 3 hours, looking at the ceiling, listening to the housekeepers clean all the other rooms on the floor. When I finally do get up and dressed, I've missed the coffee and croissant breakfast downstairs. So I head across the street to the cafe, Nouveau Paris. My favorite waiter, Cloud, sees me and he smiles and he starts singing Tupac to me. California, no sa tu party. He takes me to my chair. Sometimes I think he thinks my name is California. I don't correct him. As I eat my eggs, I see all the school children running home for lunch. Right. It's the school year. It's October almost. And then for the next few hours, I walk around the Ile de Jat, looking at the beautiful mansions and the parks and the markets. I cross the bridge on my way to the hospital and look at all the swans. They mate for life. Did you know that? I watch the afternoon rowers. I don't know if they mate for life. I imagine Bob walking with me. When he gets out of the hospital, he is going to love this neighborhood and how all the women are beautiful and how all the men wear this really strange colored salmon pant and everybody has great hair. But I know he is never going to get up and walk around Paris with me. And once again, she is nowhere to be found. Every day for 49 days, I have been on the phone with the travel insurance company trying to get a medical flight home for Bob. I just don't want him to die so far away from home. I want him to be surrounded by the people who love him deeply. I want to help you, Mrs. Young. I do, but we can't find a hospital in the United States to admit him. You'll have to wait until he's able to fly commercial to come back. Wait, no, please, you don't understand. I don't think you realize just how sick he is. He has Guillain-Barré and West Nile fever. For God's sake, read the goddamn doctor's notes. Get him home. Please, Mrs. Young, don't speak to me like that. We are doing the best we can. We'll call you back. She hangs up on me. I walk back across the bridge to the Ile de Jat and I sit on the bench. God, I'm so tired. How is this happening? It just all feels so unreal and surreal and hyper-real all at the same time. I'm exhausted. Maybe if I could just close my eyes and lay down on this bench, I'll just catch a little nap. What's that noise? That scratching noise. Oh God, it's a rat sitting on top of a garbage can, eating his Pizza Hut pizza crust right in front of me. Bonjour. Is he talking to me? Are you talking to me? Oui, bonjour. Bonjour. He eats his pizza crust like a corn cob. Why do you stare at me? Have you never seen a rat eat out of a garbage can before? Oh, no, um, gosh, I don't know. Oh, you look very familiar to me. I know you. You are the crying lady, crying and praying at the river every night. You know me? You seem very sad all the time. Maybe the river can help you. He hops off the garbage can and scurries down the riverbank. Would you like a closer look? Maybe getting a closer look will help. It doesn't hurt to get a closer look. I walk a few feet closer down the river, and Monsieur Rat leads the way. Well, I guess I'm hoping for anything to help. He stops and turns around. Hope? What do you need hope for? And then he continues walking down the riverbank. I look up at the hospital to Bob's room. It's on the other side of the building. I mean, what am I thinking? He's going to stand up and look outside the window and see me looking up at him? Monsieur Rat is on the water's edge. Madame, you are almost there. Just a few more steps. I stare at the water. What would it be like to take a closer look? To just walk those few steps and just keep on walking? To take one giant gulp and then let go, just let go and breathe in her water. Peace. Splash. Monsieur Rat is in the water doing the backstroke. Come in, madame, the water is perfect. Bon courage! Monsieur Rat, what do you mean by that? What is this bon courage with you and all the Parisians? I need to understand that. Please, somebody explain it to me. And then, from behind me, a voice. Courage is the thing we do when all hope is lost. Courage is to keep going. Courage is to choose life. I turn around. Paris! Oh God, there she is, sitting on a bench on the banks of the Seine. Where have you been? She looked me up and down, assessing me. No bonsoir, oh, you Americans. You forget your manners. Still teasing me. Bonsoir. I've been looking for you everywhere. You look like you slept in your clothes. I did. Where have you been? I have been here, waiting for you. I brought him here to meet you. I wanted you to meet Bob. Oh, I have met Bob. What did she mean by that? Why did you bring him here? I wanted you two to fall in love. I wanted all three of us to fall in love. God, it sounded so stupid when I said it out loud to her. No. You wanted him to see the young, beautiful girl you once were. Ouch. She's right. I did bring him here to capture a bit of youthful romance. But look at you now. Now you are suffering. You are tortured. You now have depth. You will never be young, but now you are beautiful. I am suffering. He's in the hospital and he's very, very sick. And I think the doctors are preparing me for him to die. And I'm all alone and I'm so scared. She smiles at me and opens up her arms. Come, tell me about your suffering. And I fall into those arms. I am lost. I missed him. I want him to wake up and to move and to look at me and to say, oh, hi, there you are. I want him to squeeze my hand. I want him to smile. You want. Ah, there it is. There is your suffering. It says, I have lived. That is my gift to you. What? I gave you that suffering. I told you I would. I have been haunting you for 30 years since you left, living in you, making choices for you, pulling you away from people and back to me. And look at you now. You are a true Parisian. You have that mystery behind your eyes. You walk down the street like a woman who knows that life is fleeting. And now you are home. Peel myself out of her arms and stand up. She did all this? I turn to look at her. Oh, and I know. You. Oui. It is not pretty to be a middle-aged woman in America. You are old and undesirable. Your body is breaking down. You have become invisible. You will never be young and beautiful in San Carlos, California. I stand there frozen in front of her. I'm trying to speak, but nothing is coming out. I know she's right, but God, she is so cruel and still so beautiful. She looks like a movie star going to meet friends for dinner. She reaches into her Chanel bag for another cigarette and she hands it to me. No, thank you. I don't want your cigarette. And at that moment, she stands up and she comes straight towards me and she shoves that cigarette into my mouth. Good girl. I am tired of waiting for you to wake up. You are mine. You don't love me. You don't love me. You toy with me. And now you confess to me that you are killing the one thing I truly love. To make me suffer enough to want to stay? He will die and I will leave and I will never return. Will you? She suddenly recovered to her calm, cool, collected Paris. I can keep him between life and death for a long, long time. Admit it. You are a Parisian. She softly brushes my hair out of my face. She kisses me like a mother kissing a comforting child. Don't be sad, little girl. It's almost winter. We will have to get you new boots and a winter coat. Oh, there is nothing as beautiful as Christmas time in Paris. Welcome to your new home. Look, I know you don't want him. You want me. Let me change places with him. Paralyze me. Put me in a coma. Let him go and you can do whatever you want to with me. I have already done what I want to with you. You live here now. But I don't want that anymore. I want my real life in my real little life in the United States, in my little town, in my little house with my little cats and Bob. You don't love me. Not the real me, not the real flesh and blood me. And I take that cigarette and I crush it in my hands and I throw it in front of her. You are a monster. Oui, I am. And you are mortal. But you are also so special. I've been around for thousands of years and I have had many, many lovers. Every young girl who meets me falls in love with me, but you are not like the other girls. Courage is the thing you do when all hope is lost. You are wrong. I am just like the other girls. We meet you and we fall in love with you and we think you're going to make us sophisticated and beautiful. You're a lie. You do not have the power to give life or to take life away. You're a fantasy. You're a romantic, juvenile dream. I do not choose you. I choose the life that I created. I choose real flesh and blood love. She opens her mouth to speak, and just at that moment, my phone rings. I turn away from her to answer it. Hello. Hello, Mrs. Young. It's Sharon from Worldwide Insurance. We wanted to let you know that a jet carrying the medical flight crew has just left Canada. They'll be in Paris and bedside by 8 a.m. Oh my God, really? Oh God. Thank you. Oh, what changed? How did this? I'll send you the flight itinerary and the receiving hospital in an email. And you will need to fly commercial. There's no seat for you. We had to add an extra ICU nurse. Your husband is really sick. I turn around to tell Paris that we're going, and where'd she go? She's gone. Oh my God. What is she going to do? I quickly call the hospital. Oui, madame, they called us too. We will keep him stable. We will have everything ready for you in the morning. Madame Young, go to the hotel, get some sleep. Tomorrow is a busy day. Shit, I'm going to have to trust these nurses to keep him safe from her until tomorrow. I head to my hotel, looking behind me constantly, thinking she's going to pop out of anywhere. Nothing. Did she do this? Did she get us a flight? No, she doesn't have the power to do that. I don't know. Does she have the power to do that? I bought my ticket. Oh, only business class left. Fuck it. I'm going home, and I'm going home tomorrow. I throw our things in a bag, leaving more than I take. I send a million texts back to people in the United States. We're coming home tomorrow. And then I sit on the edge of the bed and I wait. I listen for her footsteps coming down the hall. Nothing. I look out the window. Is that her coming from? No. I even look under the bed. Early in the morning, I take the walk from the hotel across the river to the hospital one last time. Hey, baby, today's the day. His eyes are wide, expectant, like he knows something's up. I try to speak calmly, softly. We're going home to San Carlos today. And he mouths to me, home. The medical flight team and the hospital team burst into the room. We're going to have to take him down to the ambulance now, then off to the airport. We'll see you in San Francisco at 6:30 Friday night. Wait, I have to go with him. I have to make sure he gets on that plane. Sorry, ma'am, no can do. You'll have to say your goodbyes here. I lean in and he kisses me. Everything's going to be all right. I love you. Everything is going to be all right. And they wheel him out the doors of the ICU of the American Hospital of Paris. Fuck. How am I going to get to the airport? Just then, the hospital administrator hands me 20 pounds of medical records, just discharge papers, and the bill. Thank you. And he points to the taxi stand. There's no cabs at the taxi stand and no place to call for one. Oh my God, so I wait. And I wait and I wait. Oh God, I'm going to be late for my plane. Is she doing this? Is she going to make me late for this flight? Oh God, cab comes, I hop in. De gare, s'il vous plaît. Pardon? The airport. Oh God, I have become that American, that angry, frustrated, loud American. The fucking airport. We drive in silence for a long time. It takes a long time. Why is this taking so long? Why does Paris have so much fucking traffic? Oh, we finally pull up to the entrance and I throw all my euros at him. I have no idea how much it is, but my wallet is now empty. I run through security. I hop on the transfer bus. I get to the gate and I get to my flight. I plop in my seat and breathe. Mrs. Young, would you like something to drink after we take off? Oh, a cup of coffee. Wait, no, a glass of champagne. I look out my tiny window for one last glimpse of her. The tarmac, the terminal, the runway. Nothing special. Just like every other city in the world. Oh, thank you. You know, I only drink champagne on 2 occasions. When I'm in love, when I'm not. One year later, April 15th, tax day for us Americans. Monday morning coffee while I watch breaking news on CNN. Paris's 850-year-old crown jewel is burning. She will do anything to get my attention. What'd you say? That's Bob in our kitchen. In our kitchen in San Carlos, California. He is standing up from his wheelchair and he's making us breakfast. He survived not only a 20-hour medical flight, but West Nile encephalitis, Guillain-Barré, and 4 more months in the hospital. And now he's home. Nothing, honey. Apparently, Notre Dame Cathedral is burning. I scanned the crowd shots for just a glimpse of her. But all I see are the faces of people. People crying. People holding their mouths in front of them in disbelief. All real. All 100% mortal. All in pain. Paris is a city. Just that. She's not a mythological creature, not a romantic juvenile dream. She's a city of people, real people with real lives and real hopes and real pain. And I was one of them for a moment in time. You ready for pancakes? Just a minute. My mind drifts off to Paris all the time, to those months of hopelessness and fear. Trauma's funny that way. We want to revisit the thing that caused us so much pain. Maybe to remind ourselves that that thing happened. That real thing happened. And I made it through. Coffee? Oui. Excuse me. I have to go have breakfast with my husband. Au revoir.